Hello, thank you for joining me. I am Marcus Cage, the main host from What We've Been Thinking. I have a video that I wanted to share with you all. I've noticed a lot of tensions been heating up between China and the U.S. and uh, Xi Jinping has laid out a warning, and one of his advisors has laid out a pretty stiff warning, a red line for President Joe Biden and I guess Vice President Kamala Harris. Um, this video I'm going to show is a couple of days old, but I wanted to show it anyway, in case those out there aren't aware of the situation that's kind of been heating up. I also think that it's kind of pressing coming up because on Friday we have the what was it? We have Biden to discuss the pandemic, economic recovery, and China specifically Friday at the G7 summit. So that's something that I thought was going to be very interesting also. And he's talking about the America First mantra. And then we also have the World Health Organization deciding to investigate Wuhan specifically. So there's going to be a whole lot of things that are that I think are heating up that we need to pay attention to on this front. Hopefully it'll just be this video about this, and this doesn't become an expanding story that we're constantly coming back to. But I've just been noticing it off and on, and I've talked about it on the Political Matrix. But I wanted to kind of, I guess, address it and show this video because I've been seeing, back and forth, kind of spouting or verbal sparring going on between the diplomats from China and from the U.S. So without further ado,
China warns Biden not to cross red line on Taiwan, Tibet, Hong Kong, and Xinjiang. China has warned the U.S. to not meddle in its ongoing tensions with Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Xinjiang, saying any interference was a red line that must not be crossed. The Biden administration has condemned China's crackdown on democracy in Hong Kong and its concentration camps for Uyghurs in Xinjiang. On Tuesday, Beijing's Foreign Affairs Commission Director Yang Jiechi has threatened the new U.S. Biden administration to stop meddling in China's internal affairs. Mr. Yang stated, "We expect the United States to honor its commitment under the three Sino-U.S. joint communiques. We ask the U.S. to strictly abide by the One China principle and respect China's position and concerns on the Taiwan question. The United States should stop interference in the affairs of Hong Kong, Tibet, and Xinjiang. These matter to China's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The U.S. must stop attempts to hold back China's development by meddling in China's internal affairs." Mr. Yang also said, "We in China hope that the United States will rise above the outdated mentality of zero-sum, major power rivalry, and work with China to keep the relationship on the right track." He then asked the U.S. to stop harassing Chinese students, restricting Chinese media outlets, shutting down Confucius institutes, and suppressing Chinese companies. He added that interference from the U.S. in Hong Kong, Tibet, and Xinjiang affairs were a red line that must not be crossed. President Biden's administration issued a strong statement that their commitment to Taiwan is rock solid. On Friday, President Joe Biden's national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, said the Biden administration must be ready to sanction China for its actions against Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang and its oppression of the pro-democracy movement in Hong Kong and threats against Taiwan. Mr. Sullivan said the U.S. needs to be prepared to act to impose costs for what China is doing in Xinjiang. He added that China must also answer for what it's doing in Hong Kong for the bellicosity and threats it is projecting towards Taiwan. The Washington-based security advisor said the U.S. must work with Europe to tackle China's trade and technology abuses.
shaky.